today is show day. We just got back from the hotel, getting our second tan. So one thing I always do when I travel, this is not exclusive to competition, is I bring this light with me because I can't trust the lighting of hotels. And I got this like a year ago or so, and it was so worth it. I think the brand is Ilios. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Ilios lighting. But it's so worth it. It's so easy to travel with. I just slide it in like next to my laptop in my backpack. But all right, back to task here. My prep peak week instructions say to Saturday show day. I will gauge water intake based on timing of events, but start your day with 12 ounces of water first thing in the morning. I already did that, and I'm very thirsty. Meal 1, 2 ounces of flank steak or 93% ground beef, 1/2 cup oats, and 1/2 tablespoon peanut butter. Bring a few normal diet meals with you. Bring rice cakes and sea salt. So, like I said, I already have my water. I texted Marcus and asked him if I can have coffee. Marcus is not an early riser, so that's fine. But that means he'll text me back in quite some time. Probably like an hour. He's got a lot of clients, and well, he's got like 5 clients in the show. But he's been an incredible coach this entire time. But anyway, I have 90% lean ground beef and chicken with me, and I was like, hey, I guess I didn't read these instructions closely enough. Does it matter if I have 90% instead of 93%? And he was like, eat the chicken. So I get to have 2 ounces of chicken for breakfast. Maybe slightly more than that because I'll just do the macro math. Because, like, okay, let's see. From a macro standpoint, 16 grams of protein and 5 grams of fat. Let's see how much chicken I get for, what did I say? 15, 16, and 5 grams of fat. 80 grams of chicken, which is only 15.5 grams of protein and 3 grams of fat, which I get 2 extra grams of fat. Supposed to have almond butter. Whatever. I'll figure that math out in a second. Anyway, that's what I get to eat in like probably at 7. So let's start doing my makeup, shall we? I need my stuff. Okay, got all my stuff. It lost my face. All right. So this will work out well because this is relevant to competition, and I have a lot of people ask me about makeup anyway. Not a lot, but a good amount. And you know what? I'm very confident in my makeup skills, so we're going to be just fine. I brought it all with me. So for foundation color, what I did to figure out what foundation I should do with this crazy tan is I put in my typical brand and the color I get in my normal foundation, which is Armani Luminous Silk. And I said, okay, and ChatGPT, I said I get 4.5 in Armani Luminous Silk. If I get the same brand, what color should I get? Well, Armani Luminous Silk, I guess, what the rep told me at the mall, at Nordstrom, is that they're reformulating, so they're out of most of their colors. Fortunately, somehow I can still buy my color that I use on a daily basis, but the darker colors are gone. So chat said that MAC Studio Fix, which I've used before, Fluid, would be a really good brand. And I said, I'm getting Pro Tan. That's the company. And I think they run warm. So what color should I get? And it like knew everything, of course. So it was like, yes, Pro Tan runs warm. If you get a cool color, it'll make you look gray and washed out. You do not want that. So get warm colors, which is NC. You should get NC 42 and NC 44 and kind of mix them both. And I said, isn't NC cool? And it's like, no, you would think that it's cool, but it's actually their warm colors. And these are, in fact, warm. So 24-hour matte foundation plus oil control, which is probably good because I don't want to have to be putting too much powder on my face throughout the day. But this is going to have to last all day long. So, yeah. Got my colors. This is a concealer that I kept seeing on TikTok that like Hailey Bieber wears and all kinds of people rave about. I bought it recently, but it was too dark for my normal use. And it's warm, but I thought this would be perfect for this makeup. So we'll see how that goes. If it isn't dark enough, which I doubt that it will not be bright enough because it's slightly lighter, I'll just mix it with the foundation. This is the best makeup primer I've ever used. I ChatGPT'd what is the #1 primer that all makeup artists use, and it's this. I don't know how to, it's probably blurry and too bright, but Embryolisse, it's French, Lait Crème Concentré. I'll just put a little picture of it up here, but it's the best. So I will do Hydro Boost Moisturizer after I ice roll my face, and then this on top of it, because I have a friend who's a makeup artist. She did a Zoom call with me one time and was teaching me a bunch of things, and she was like, you really want your skin to be super juicy whenever you are like prepping your skin for makeup. We're just gonna put this in a little bun so it doesn't put any kinks in my hair. I mean, I'm gonna be curling it anyway, but still, I don't know where my clip is. I'm so annoyed by that. All right, my little black silky PJs. Mike was like, I like these. These are sleek. This is Skinny Confidential. I bought this a couple years ago and I was really struggling with acne. My skin's not perfect by any means, but it's come a long way, I'll tell you that. The good news is when you're eating nothing but whole food, your skin really doesn't get puffy. But I just wanted to do this for good measure, honestly. But the reason I got this when I was struggling with acne is because everything I was reading, like it's good to, you know, soothe your face, and circulation is good for improving the health of your acne, which is why people should gua sha. I haven't gua sha'd in forever. But my skin's been so much better because I started using tazarotene, which is like a tretinoin that's specific to acne, and Hydro Boost. I have a friend who's a dermatologist, and I was like making a post on social media about my skin, and he reached out and he was like, listen dude, you need to stop doing everything that you're doing. Your skincare routine is way too complicated. Just do fragrance-free Hydro Boost moisturizer, get tazarotene, and use that instead of tretinoin, which is what I was using before. It'll help. And then like a blue light mask, which he has a storefront on his Instagram, so I got 50% off of his blue light mask. It's blue light and red light. But anyway, the tazarotene has been clutch. It's the only topical I've ever used that's actually helped my acne. And I'm shocked that it worked because my acne is hormonal. But it works. Swear by it. Okay, that's enough of that. I can't remember if I talked about this in a previous YouTube video, but the reason I'm doing my makeup instead of having it professionally done is because I've had some not great experiences getting my makeup done. Not that I now believe that that's what all experiences would be like, but I wasn't willing to risk it on somebody who I've never used before. You can't really do a trial for this because you have to make sure the color matches the tan. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it myself. I'll do it myself. So what I'll do is I'll take you through my steps of how I layer. Now, of course, what I'm gonna be doing today is gonna be more than what I typically do, but it'll still be the same basic process. I did also shave all the peach fuzz off my face a couple days ago with a man's razor, because I use men's razors. I didn't even use Dermaplane, I just shaved my face. It worked. Okay. Someone asked me recently if I do under eye cream, and I was like, no. I've heard dermatologists say that it's kind of a scam. Under eye cream doesn't do a whole lot more than just regular moisturizer, so I don't buy that. There we go. We'll just do that. Okay, I feel much better about that microphone now. Okay. Let's begin. I need to go wet one of these. How am I going to do that? I don't have any gloves. We got plastic bags, right? Stand by. Okay. I have 3 wet beauty blenders. I think I'm gonna start with the concealer first, and then I'm gonna do foundation. Here's our 2 colors here. So this is glycerin-based setting spray. It helps the makeup stick. So you're supposed to spray it on before you put everything on, and then like spray it in between layers. So usually I would spray this on before I put anything on my skin, but we just put the concealer on, so it's fine. I'll be doing lots of layers anyway. This was a game changer though, when I started doing that. The person at MAC told me to do it between layers. So the lighter color, what I'm gonna do is put it in like the middle of my face and like here. And then the darker color, kind of where I'd put contour. I'm still gonna do contour, but that's how you're gonna layer your makeup. I like to put it in the palm of my hand because I've heard makeup artists say you want it to be warm. It's 44. When you put it on, look at this. His coach is looking at Mike. Look at Mike. He looks so good, oh my gosh.
Dressed up.
All right, back to me. NC 42. This is so dark. We're just trusting the process here. I mean, this is like my only option for foundation. You can't really tell on there how, get my ears, straight orange. Man, dude, I hope this is not too warm. Well, based on how it looks in the mirror, it looks right. 44. Let's see what this one looks like. I hope whatever this formula is doesn't like make my skin react. Which my skin's never reacted to makeup before, but it kind of burns, which is crazy. Concealer, contour. Contour, I do LYS. I don't usually do it on a regular basis. I do Fenty Beauty on a regular basis. Because the LYS that I bought, it's just so juicy and it's so dark, so I don't always need this color, but it's perfect for this, of course. LYS. Let's go see what this looks like in another light. I mean, yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. This is kind of foreign to me, but dude, it is so freaking dark in here. Okay, we're doing cream blush, which I don't use on a normal basis. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, nice. Okay, what brush should I use for this? I need a little bit more of this on my forehead. I have so much makeup on. Okay, what next? Eyes. Let's clean this up a little bit. Wish I could wash my hands. Well, actually, I'm not done with my face yet. I still have to put bronzer on, but I'm gonna do that last, as like a final touch. I'll probably do my eyebrows next. Clean out the powder. I'm so grateful I have such dark eyebrows. That's like the one thing I got going for me. I guess I'm gonna go warm. Makes the most sense. This is Tartlet Toasted. Katie, my posing coach, does makeup for girls, and she was like, just make sure you put something sparkly on your eyes. And I was like, okay. I might use highlighter for that. Where are my brushes? Here they are. It's broken. I bought this for Ibiza. Don't have very many sparkles, but we'll see what we can do with that. This is the only part I'm nervous about is my eyes. Because I don't usually do very dark makeup on my eyes. Okay, cool. Done. On to hair.
And your mommy.
And my mommy. Thank you.
Aw, I love you so much.
I love you.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Mom.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, it's a mess around. It's just a lot of stuff. There's a place for you to sit here. Trust me, this is how shows go. We had a lot of stuff here. But bodybuilding is going on right now, though, right?
Right, yeah.
And then you.
Forward, turn to the right. Front double bicep.
Now you can do it all over because now you're recording.
I thought I was recording that entire time. Okay, so we are waiting in the hallway. It is totally chaotic here. Mike already went on. We got tons of content of him. He did incredible, by the way. Like, he's probably going to win both of his classes. That would be insane. And the overall. I think he's going to win everything. I think he's going to win everything. He had some good competition, but he looks the best. But I probably won't go on until like 2 p.m. is my estimation. There's no timing schedule of events. It's literally just the order of operations. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So right now, I'll keep you posted. I'll show you a little bit of what backstage looks like. I'll have to go pump up anyway and practice physics.
Crazy
so,
back there.
yeah, it's chaotic.
Got free donuts.
We got tons of food back there for us. I just took 4 rice cakes. 4 rice cakes, some salt, and I've had like 20 ounces of water today. So, got cotton mouth, but it's fine.
Let's go.
You guys have one warning, and after that is
Novice B, can we move on over there? I'm sorry, novice C. Could you just...
I need 296 and 298.
There we go, 294. There we go.
And your winner, Paula Croson. All right, ladies.
Go, Paula.
Second place, Alexandra Koliva.
Let's go.
And your winner, that's going to be Paula Croson.
Let's go.
Thank you, ladies.
It was a long day. The show ran so long.
It was long.
I think I enjoy the prep more than I enjoy the actual competition itself. I mean, winning's cool. I do like winning. But man, it was a longer day than I thought it was going to be. And it went by fast and slow at the same time. But prep seemed to go by pretty quickly, even though technically I started cutting in like June. I honestly didn't really have any obstacles in prep. I felt like this felt so easy because I already lived my life this way. That's what I told my clients. I was like, I'm doing the exact same thing that I was already doing. It's the exact same foods, the exact same structure. The only difference was no date nights, and I was eating less food by like 300-400 calories.
How did you guys support each other through this journey before getting here?
I think just because of the lifestyle that we live. I mean, I feel blessed to have a husband who's as disciplined as he is. I mean, my personal belief is that the husband sets the tone of the household. We have traditional beliefs on marriage, and it really influences me very heavily. I mean, as much as I like to say I'm a disciplined person, if my partner is not very disciplined, then I'll match their energy. So Mike lives his life almost like he's in prep. I mean, he's done 14 shows, it's just his way of living. And I mean, I eat very healthy too, but it just, gosh dang, it helps so much to have somebody who's just nails with everything, because it just makes me do the same thing. So I mean, it wasn't even as if he was putting in an effort, really. I mean, yes, he's supportive, of course, encouraging me, like hyping me up, but more than anything, it's just like being in proximity to him. That is the biggest support.
I think the reason I live such a disciplined lifestyle is trying to run at a high level CEO or business owner. Like, you don't want to have to think about anything else. And I think that's probably the difference between me and her, is that she still likes a lot of food freedom on choices, because she enjoys making those choices. I
love
think
food.
I think at this point, with the amount of team that we have, that I'm like, I need to think about the least amount of things as possible. So just, hey coach, just tell me what to eat and I'll just do just that. And that made it really easy for me to just follow. That's why I always wear like the same colored shirts and the same things, because it's such routine. I just don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it easy for me.
It was really awesome, especially because like I had to check my mindset between pre-judging and finals, because based on how they moved me and what my coach said, he's like, based on how they moved you, it's looking 4th or 5th. Because I was top 5 in all 3 classes. I got first call-outs in all 3, which was great, but I didn't put all this work in for 6 months to not win. And as much as I hate to admit it, I'm somebody who hates losing more than I love winning. Now that I've won, that might change, because when you've never won anything before, it's easier to hate losing more than you love winning. But it was kind of a surprise that I won first in both those categories, and then that completely changed my mindset. So I was disappointed on 4th and open, and I mean, that class again was 25 people, and it was a stacked class. I'm really happy that there was good competition, because if I had showed up and it was just like a bunch of, weak competitors and it was too easy, that wouldn't have been fulfilling to win so easily on my first show. Yeah. I'd be like, well, that's kind of a bummer. Like, okay, cool, I won.
Yeah. And this was one of the biggest shows. And this is one of the biggest regional shows that there is in the United States. Definitely the biggest show in the entire Midwest. So the fact that we come out bikini debut, and
not pro debut. I'm not a pro.
You're probably the only person, I'm 99% sure, that that's your first bikini show.
Yeah.
So that says a lot, and this is all brand new to you. Like the peak, the posing, the routine, that's all brand new.
Kind of, because I did one show 10 years ago. But
10 years ago is like running your first mile, and now you're competing for your first marathon. Like, it's not.
Yeah, it was totally different, for sure. It was a different experience all around.
Yeah. And then this show is huge. This is the biggest show I've ever done. And the competition was stacked.
How many shows?
This is number 14 for me.
So the biggest show is 14 shows?
Yes, and I've done national shows that weren't this big. So it was all around just a great experience. And they put on a heck of a show. Even though it run long, that's just because of so many competitors.
Yeah.
How they treated the competitors.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
So much free stuff and food backstage. Like, it was very well run. Mm-hmm. Very well run.
We believe in the power of prayer, and the lack of anxiety is not just relevant to like prep. I think it's just our life in general. We do our best to keep God in the center of our relationship and in our businesses and everything that we do. So we're just big believers that, if you give it to God, He will take care of it for you. And, when we're praying before something like a competition, we're not praying to win. We're not like, Lord, help me take first place. It's like, we're praying for peace, you're praying for confidence, you're praying, you know, to not be nervous, to not be so self-centered, to think about all the other people who are there and just to enjoy it and for God's will to be done, and also for it to be an opportunity to glorify God, which is kind of hard to talk about when it comes to bodybuilding, especially for the female category, because anybody who's a non-competitor who looks at bikini competitors, they're like, how could this possibly be glorifying to God? You're in a tiny little bikini, you're showing your butt on stage. It's just kind of the nature of how you show the musculature in this world. It's not a sexualized thing. It's glam, but it's still bodybuilding. So for us, we look at this like, it's the process that glorifies God. It's the discipline. Discipline is spiritual, because if you can exemplify discipline with the physical act of the food that you eat and your exercise and your patience and delayed gratification, that transfers into other areas of discipline in your life. Discipline in your marriage, discipline in your business, discipline as a follower of Christ. So when I'm praying over Mike, I'm just praying for him to have peace more than anything, fill him with the Holy Spirit. And also we consistently pray for the Holy Spirit to speak through us to people. And in situations like this, when we're meeting new people, we want to have opportunities to represent Christ and for our conversations to come back to God. That's one thing that we really try to do consistently, just to be an example, because we're not the type of people who want to try and push religion on others, but just to be an example through letting Christ shine through us and our testimonies. So I just think in life, and that's a significant element for me with my food, because I used to have some significant food issues. I used to yo-yo heavily. I used to binge and purge. I had some pretty significant strongholds with food and sugar specifically. But ever since developing a relationship with the Lord, everything of the earth becomes so much more minimized because you're focused on the eternal. So you're like, well, this doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of eternity. If I can be an instrument for the Lord in this situation, then all the little details of what could cause me anxiety don't matter. They don't really matter. So I think that's where that comes in specifically.
I think for myself, I think my calling has been more so to speak to Christians that struggle with full control. So that is my testimony of trying to control every situation, full autonomy over myself. And my biggest thing is to just been trying to preach this message that if you say you're a Christian, then why are you worried? Because if you believe that God's going to provide, then why are you worried about when it's going to arrive? And so how you show up emotionally to the tests in your life is whether you're going to pass his test and receive the next blessing, or you're going to be tested harder and see how you show up again. And that's when I think it gets to the point of breaking us, because we're trying to control it. And I could try to control for so long that for me, and I know this is the big thing for us, is like, hey, you just got to let go. Like, you got to release that anxiety, release that stress, just let the chips fall where they may, like trust God's plan. And I think that's the big piece, I think, for our relationship as well. As I know that sometimes she can be a little tightly bound, and that I'm like, hey, let's try to just let that go in the moment. And so yeah, for us, it's just whatever God's will is, and let's enjoy the process. And I'm just blessed to be able to have the food to eat, to be able to show up and do this.
Yeah. Yeah, we're very blessed. If our biggest problem is how soft we look on stage, I would say that we're probably extremely blessed in life.
What's the next steps? We got another competition on the horizon? Nationals, maybe?
Well, Nationals is next weekend.
Well, what's your plan? What are you planning on doing?
I'm going to go into off season and grow. I'm going to get feedback from the judges. So I'm going to send an email. A guy I used to work with as a judge, so I'm going to email him and be like, all right, what's my feedback? I think I know what it is, but I just need to hear it. So I'm going to go into the off season and then probably compete maybe the latter half of next year, because we have a 100-mile hike sometime in the spring, so it won't be happening then.
We do have that, yeah.
Yeah, that's not getting canceled.
Yeah.
But Nationals is next weekend, and Mike qualified, so...
We haven't really talked about it. So I don't...
All right, guys, come on. We got a plan to catch you going to Nationals. Let's go.
All right, well, my first bikini show is over. and I ended up liking it a whole lot more than I thought that I was going to like it. So I was so nervous about stepping on stage. I know I talked about that several times, but once I got up there the first time and realized that you truly can't see the audience because the lights are so bright, my posing coach had told me just focus on the head judge, look at him the entire time. That helped me stay focused. And I just kind of like locked in. I mean, I was praying a lot before I went on stage, you know, praying for the other girls because everybody there was working just as hard as I was. You know, I was initially disappointed with how they placed me on stage because when they move you around, that's how you know, like the closer you are to the middle, the more likely it is that you're going to take first or second. And for the first couple classes that I went on stage for, they did not move me to the middle. I think I got close to the middle, but I ended up getting moved kind of the end in one of my classes. So my coach was upset. He sent me a text afterwards. He was like, hey, no matter what happens, I'm really proud of you. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, do you think I'm going to lose? Which, like, of course, I can't go into this assuming I'm going to win. It being my first bikini show and there being lots of other competitive girls there. And I'm really happy that it was a very competitive group. I would not have wanted the experience to be, like, too easy, you know, go in and just like win all my classes, but winning 2 out of my 3 classes was probably best case scenario. So I won Masters 35 plus, then I won the novice, and I took 4th in the open. And that class had probably like 20 to 25 girls in it. So it was really cool to get first call outs for each of those. And it was so cool to win first place in 2 of my classes. I don't know why I'm holding this right here because I've never won anything before. That was my first time truly competing in something. Like I did step on stage 10 years ago. I've joked before that I wasn't competing. I just stepped on stage. But this was, I mean, I took it very seriously. I'm very proud of my whole prep. It was the most disciplined I'd ever been for the longest period of time. I was so locked in the whole time. I can honestly say I gave it like 99%. 99%. My next prep, I'm going to give 100%. And now I'm entering into my bulk phase, we'll call it. The growing season, my off season. It's crazy to say I'm in off season because I've never considered myself an athlete, a competitor, but I guess I am now. So I do plan on competing sometime in 2026. I don't have a show picked out yet, but what I'm going to be doing is documenting my entire process. I just hired a personal trainer actually. So I do have Marcus Seidel is my coach, nutrition. He does do my training programs, check-ins, the whole deal. But since he's in St. Louis and I'm in Dallas, you know, I don't have him with me to push me in the gym. And I don't even know if he really even does personal training anymore. He owns a gym. But my point is for my glute development, which I never got feedback from the judge that I emailed. You're supposed to email the judges afterwards with this particular show. I don't think you do that with every show. It's all different from what I've learned. But I emailed her like a week and a half ago and I've not heard back yet. So I'm not going to double email her. I just know that from like what other coaches have said, I have a ton of friends who are prep coaches, other competitors, pros themselves. And they're like, if you just were to like get a smidge leaner, then you would have had better development in your glutes, more roundness to your glutes, and then obviously bringing up your legs and your glutes. So I hired that personal trainer. He's known here in Dallas. His name is Justin. He's opening up a gym called Model Fitness. It's a sick gym. I can't wait to show you guys that. But I'm going to be working with him twice a week for my glute days. So he's known in the area for helping women grow their glutes and their legs. And he's got tons of before and afters. And my husband's known him for years. So it was kind of a no-brainer. My coach was really excited about it. And when I told him that I'm hiring a coach, he was like, dude, I'm just stoked that you're so dedicated to this. So increase my carbs by 150 immediately post-show. I'll talk about that at length in my next video when I go through like how my nutrition's changing, how the volume of my training is changing. But increase my food by 600 calories, all from carbs. So I've been really keeping my fats lower. And I'll give you guys some education on why that's important on my next video. But I've been very diligent about that. You know, when Mike competed in nationals last weekend, which was a week after our other show, I made him some cookies and I had some of those. So like, I haven't been 100% perfect in the last week, but like it's also Christmas coming up. So like all the days I have the most control over, I'm taking the most control. I'm tracking, I'm hitting my food. I just increased carbs from like oats and rice. I do throw in rice cakes sometimes just because it's proving to be more challenging than I thought to eat that many more carbs from what I was used to. but I'm acclimating to it. And my body weight is maintaining homeostasis. So I'm maintaining like 130 pounds. My goal is to stay as lean as I can while building muscle. So increasing my food while trying to keep body fat from increasing. Because I would just like to see how lean I can stay while increasing muscle, because you don't have to be in a surplus or a massive surplus to gain muscle. You can build muscle in a deficit. You can build muscle at maintenance. So right now I'm at maintenance calories. My coach, I sent my post-show check-in to him yesterday, my first post-show check-in. Photos look great. I mean, my pictures, I basically look like I'm 2 weeks out from a show, and I look fuller because I've had so many more carbs. My muscle looks fuller, more glycogen, more water, etc. But I was on stage at like 126, 127. Now I'm 130, and I've been maintaining that. So I'm really happy with that. And my hunger cues are increasing as well, which is a good indication that my body is acclimating to more food. Because I was a little nervous about increasing my food by that much, that quickly. But you do it with all clean carbs, all rice, all oats. You don't really have to worry, especially because I didn't damage my metabolism. Like I had no indication that something was wrong with my thyroid hormones or my sex hormones. I got my cycle the entire time, never lost my period. So I feel like I handled prep very healthy, which is why my mindset stayed healthy, my body stayed healthy. I will be getting blood work done, so I will tell you guys about those results as well, just to see where I'm at right now. And anyway, because I didn't damage my metabolism, because I handled prep in a healthy way, that's why I didn't have to truly reverse diet and slowly increase my calories. He just went ahead and added 600 right off the bat, which I was a little nervous about, but it's not been problematic. So I really appreciate you guys following along with my prep, with this whole process. And I, hope you stick around to continue watching how things progress in the off season, how my body changes. I'll keep giving you education. I'll be releasing a podcast soon as well. So I'll be having 2 videos per week. But if you like this content, if you want more of it, you can always leave some comments, ask some questions, like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. That would mean a lot to me. And I'm always here to provide value to you. So if whatever you want to see more of from just an example standpoint, just let me know. So thanks, guys.